go ahead and start with a recap of last session. So, last week, basically what we had happen was the party was introduced to Gax and Zarn, who are two new members of the party, who are helping them at the moment guard the Evermelt, an artifact owned by Belagol University that is currently on display at the Museum of Elemental Art. This artifact is very rare and very, as rare artifacts are, very valuable. And so they asked basically for some extra security, some help from the party in that regard. And so, after performing some short errands, the party went into the museum for their night shift. And over the course of the night shift, managed to stop two thieves, basically, from taking the Evermelt, a tiefling and elven woman, respectively. They were restrained and spoken to, basically. Some information was gotten out of them, including some information about who sent them and a little bit about who they were, and etc. And so, and then the next morning, the City Watch was summoned and took the thieves away, basically, to lock them up. And the party went to investigate at a tavern called the Minotaur's Horn, which they had heard about from the tiefling. And because it was about 8:30 in the morning, there was nobody there. And so the party then returned back to their inn and went to sleep for the day in order to prepare for later in that afternoon and evening, which is where we will begin now. So you all wake up after getting about 8 hours of sleep, a long rest, as it were, and make your way downstairs, all of you, and meet up in what is basically the lobby area of the Gatekeeper's Inn. What would you like to do?
Garrick would like to go to the mask shop and get his mask.
Okay. Let's do that first, then.
Yeah.
Yes?
Let's see. Well, Jarn's going to sleep in for at least 20 more minutes before he wakes up.
Okay.
20 more minutes, I swear.
Shut up. Anyone that tries to wake him up, he has like a wild, sleepy swing with his hammer. Stop it.
He sleeps with his hammer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
He cuddles it.
Keep that in mind.
He's got to sleep with someone.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Feel the burn.
Okay. So, Garrick, you make your way back to the mask shop and find yourself face to face, walk in basically, and find yourself in front of the same two elven women that you had encountered in the previous day. And they take a look and say, yes, you, here for your mask?
I am.
Absolutely. If you just come here, we have it right here if you'd like to try it on first. And they hand you what is basically, it's not complicated, but it does seem to be fairly well crafted, decent quality dyed blue leather. And it's basically just a small figure 8-esque shaped mask that will cover the area around your eyes, leaving eye holes basically so you can see through them.
Sweet. That works.
Is this sufficient?
Yes, it is very sufficient. I thank you.
Excellent.
How much do I owe you again?
That would be, I believe, 6 more gold, please.
Okay. Then he hands over the gold.
Excellent. They take it, and you make your way back to the inn, I assume?
Yeah. He's gonna how will it attach to the head? Like, I'm guessing there's like some sort of ribbon or something that goes
There's a clasp. There's a clasp on the back. It appears to be elastic.
I didn't know they had elastic back then. Okay. On his
You
way,
don't know
he's
how to do it. Shit's magic, yo.
okay. On the way back, he's gonna put it on and pull the hood up just to see what everybody's reaction is when he gets back.
Okay. You get back to the inn, and find at this point, Zarn, you're awake and downstairs, with the others. So Garrick walks into the inn, mask and hood on.
Who is that?
Yeah, who's that guy? Nice hood. Nerd.
Meanwhile, you hear a "Oh, not again" from Bree.
Exactly. You got your makeup on again, huh?
Hey, it's not a makeup anymore. I got a mask now. This is legit.
Wait, so who is this guy? You know
Bree's
this guy?
just gonna thunk her head onto the table. It's Garrick.
What's with the weird hood?
He had the hood. Just not on.
I had the hood. The hood was already there. It's the mask.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
It's the whole Superman covering the eyes and uncovering the eyes to be two different people.
So just by covering this, so like, I'm Jarn. Who am I now? You guys will never know my secret identity. Yeah, Zarn does this and walks around the bar.
Okay. So what would you guys like to do?
What time is it about now? Is it later on in the day?
At this point, it's about dusk. You guys have probably about 2.5, 3 hours before you need to be at the museum
Hey, that
for
looks
your night
smart.
shift.
Should we hit the bar?
I wanted to make that bigger. I can't make it bigger.
Minotaur's horn sounds good to me.
I think we should hit the bar before we had to head out to our guard duty again.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you guys, no, not that one. Hold on.
Are in a battle.
Yeah, you
Suddenly,
guys are
dragon-
fighting.
You walk out of the tavern and an ancient red dragon lands in front of you. Roll initiative.
Oh, good, and destroys the whole city. It's terrifying
Too soon.
and awful.
Too soon.
Too soon.
As long as it's not an owlbear, we're good.
Oh, but owlbears are so cute. It's like
Owl bears and flying snakes. Any one of those
Bane of
shows
the
up.
party, man.
If either one of those shows up in an encounter again, count on Garrick to turn tail and run. I'm just saying.
So you guys make your way to the Minotaur's Horn, which, just for out of context knowledge, for a reminder, is in this area near the border between the Port District and Asmodin. You get here at this point, and it's a bit more. It's definitely more lively than it was bright and early in the morning. Behind the bar, in particular, you see a brown-skinned human man behind the bar. He's got sort of like stringy black hair. It's kind of greasy and not real well kept. And there's a whole bunch of bar patrons around. You see people of various races, including several tieflings, a smattering of minotaurs, a fair bit of elves and half-elves and humans, a couple of halflings, that sort of thing. Pretty diverse populace. Most of them seem to be sailors, except for the tieflings, which you presume are local.
I would like to approach the Minotaurs.
Is the bartender the
Minotaurs?
same as the guy who was there in the morning?
No, the guy who was there in the morning was an orc. Big, green, ugly orc.
Do we recognize maybe Agamemnos is there?
Why
You
do
do
we
not
think
see
Agamemnon
Agamemnos
is
there.
gonna be there? That's because it's called the Minotaur's Horn. Don't be
Well,
racist.
he said there were minotaurs there. That's why I asked.
They're in the Port District. There's minotaurs kind of everywhere. Because minotaurs tend to be sailors, so anywhere that there's a port, you'll find minotaurs. So, Zarn, you're looking for minotaurs. Okay.
Yes.
So you approach a group of primarily minotaurs, and There's 3 or 4 of them sort of sitting around this table. They appear to be drinking and playing a dice game. 2 male, 2 female. Youngish to middle age as minotaurs go, varying fur colors, etc.
All right. I'd like to walk up to him, and do I recognize any of them by any chance? Or my
no, they're just minotaurs. You don't happen to see you don't happen to recognize any of them in particular.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk up to their. I want to go grab. There's 3 of them?
4.
4. Okay. I'm gonna grab 5 beers. I'm gonna come back and plop them down on the table there and have a seat.
The human bartender says that it's 3 silvers per beer.
Okay, so that's. Let me make sure I have enough money.
We just got
1
paid.
gold, 5 silver.
So how many is that in gold?
1.5.
Yeah.
So math.
1 gold, 5 silver.
Math.
Take off
I've already
2
lost.
gold and add 5
1 gold,
silver.
5 silver.
I'm not good at math.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Maybe.
Okay, so it's the 3 each. 3 times 5. That's 15. 15. So 3 gold. Okay, perfect. So I plop down 3 gold then. Right?
No, it's 1.5.
Oh my god.
You buy 2 rounds.
Just tell me how many gold.
1.
That's
Gold.
1.5. 1 gold and 5 silver.
Alright, I give 2 golds and say keep the change.
Oh my god, that is Garrett.
Wow.
He takes it halfway.
Alright. I'm not
Okay.
good at math, guys.
There's like 3 of us sitting here, like 1 gold, 5 silver, and he's like, I give 3 gold. No, damn it!
Anyway.
I have an intelligence of 10, guys. Relax.
I have average intelligence, which doesn't say good things about the citizens of this world.
Alright, so I'll plop the beers down and take a seat at the table.
Okay. You just sit down, find a chair, pull it up, and sit your ass down right next to him.
Yes.
They all kind of. Okay, speak.
I was say, do they have any markings or anything about like what crew they're from?
Nothing you can really see. They're all just sort of wearing standard sailors' clothing. Like nothing sticks out. You take a seat, and they immediately sort of almost as one sort of turn into like, "Hey, stranger, how's it going?"
How's it going, guys? Put you guys all around. It's been a while since I've seen any Minotaurs. I used to actually be on a Minotaur crewed ship, and I was kind of curious if there's been any news through the open seas about the ship. If you guys have ever heard of any the ship, the Fist of Pamplos.
Let me roll the thing.
Any word if they've been seen nearby?
He's rolling for a thing. It's never good.
They think for a second. One of them says, "I've heard of the Fist of Pamplos. Ran across them a while back, a couple years ago. But I haven't heard anything since."
All right, been trying to keep an ear out for them. Also, how long have you guys been in the city?
Not long, just got in a couple days ago, probably leaving again in a couple more. Just dropping off some cargo.
Interesting. What kind of, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of cargo do you guys deal with?
Oh, you know, the usual, whatever we can pick up.
Who do you guys usually sell to when you come to the city?
Whoever or boy.
Do you?
I'm not really in charge of the decisions, though, mate.
Okay. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm gonna sit there and
One play dice?
yeah. So I'll join in on the dice game.
All right, sounds good. Anybody else doing anything?
Natural 20.
Yes.
Are they? They're basically
They're not
Dungeons
playing
and
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons. Damn it!
Anybody else doing anything?
That'd be
Now
so
that you're here?
meta.
It's called Humans in Catacombs.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be so meta. It'd be hilarious to have you play a character who plays another character in like a D&D type game. That'd be crazy.
I am
Yes.
not prepared to go that deep. Not prepared.
You'd have to prepare 2 totally different stories.
Yep, not
D&D type.
interested. Yeah, basically. All right. Anyone else doing anything in here besides Zarn, who has... The rest of you stand there. As soon as you walk in, Zarn immediately walks over, buys 5 beers, sits down with his group of Minotaurs, and starts chatting. Says nothing to you about what he's doing, just sort of walks away.
As is his nature.
Well, Garrick's out of his element. He's not used to,
People?
bar hopping and being around that many people. Yeah.
Who are they supposed to be meeting? I don't even remember. Were they
So
Minotaurs?
you were told by the Tiefling that this is where they were supposed to meet their contact.
But she
That's
didn't
all
say
you know.
anything about.
She didn't
okay.
say, you did not ask who or when or anything else.
Yeah, nothing useful.
And she did not volunteer that information.
It was hard to, concentrate with all that crying. To be fair,
fair.
I know. Yeah, we did get a name. I know that of like her, like I guess
You got the
guy-
name Golind. You got the
Yes.
name Golind,
Yeah.
who was like, it's his organization, she told you.
Okay.
She also has never seen him, or so she said.
Okay, well, Bree's gonna go up to the bartender then, and she'll get
That's pretty much where Garrick was going to go.
whatever they're doing, and
I
then
am
she's just
thirsty
gonna
as
say
well.
she was supposed to be meeting somebody, and has he noticed
the bar-
anybody looking for someone?
Yeah, I was just gonna say while I'm playing the dice game, kind of like keep an eye out if anyone seems like they're like scanning around looking for somebody.
Looking for someone? Okay. I'll have you roll for that in a second.
Gotcha.
Actually, no, roll for it now. Roll perception. Okay. Zach.
Nice.
Bree, and Garrick walk up to the bar and tell me what you're asking the bartender.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna ask him for whatever is on tap, and then
He
I'm
pours
just
you just a mug of standard ale, plops down in front of you.
okay,
That will be
and
3 silver.
3 silver. I'll give
Give him a
to
gold.
No, I'm not giving him a whole gold. And I'll say I'm supposed to be meeting somebody here. You haven't, seen anybody been asking for someone?
Nobody asking for anyone, that's for sure. You know who you're looking for?
No, not really.
Garrick six.
Get you on the details. Leave this guy in charge of it. And she'll point at Garrick, and you never get all the information you need.
Garrick sits down next to her and orders a drink as well.
He gives it to you. Ask for your 3 silver.
When he hands the drink and asks for the 3 silver, Garrick puts down 5 gold and says, "We heard a person by the name of Galland does some buying of goods, sorting of goods from here. You got any information about this person?"
Bree's really gonna watch the bartender for a bad reaction here.
The bartender hears the name Galind and sort of gets a bit of a look on his face. It's a bit hard to discern what that look is, really. If you want to roll a perception,
Okay.
or
both of us or
insight,
her?
make it insight. Both of you roll
Insight?
insight on this.
Insight's not all that great.
Damn, I'm better with perception. Damn it.
So he sort of gets a look on his face and he thinks and he says, "I'll be honest with you.
I take back what I
Neither
said
one of
about
you-
short people.
Neither one of you can really discern specifically what this look on his face means."
Fudge muffins.
So he sort of gets that look and he leans forward on the counter and he's sort of like, "Well, I won't say that I don't know who he is, but if he does any business here, it's certainly not with me.
Do you know when he might be coming back? Or she, depending. Generalization.
They've been here. I don't know about it.
Is
And I'm big-
you're the bartender?
and I
You don't know the
He's
people
gonna
that come
sort
in?
of elbow Garrick and try to
I
get
don't know
him to
everybody's name
stop.
in here. And if I was Glenn, I sure as hell wouldn't tell the barkeep who I was.
Pretty sure he doesn't know who the four of us are.
Well, yeah, it's the first technically the
Is
second
Garrick
time we've been
wearing
in.
his mask?
Is Garrick wearing his mask? Yes. Okay. What is Gax doing right now, by the way?
I was gonna go up to the bar and get a drink, but everybody
Okay.
else was talking, so
That's fine. So Gax goes up to the bar and gets a drink.
Yep.
That's fine.
Batman.
Zarn, about this time, you're looking around. You notice a couple of people sort of sitting around that look like they're waiting for somebody. There is a couple people. There is a half-elven woman over in a corner seat who looks to be alone, and is sort of scanning. Eyes keep popping over towards the front door entrance of the establishment. And then there is actually a gnomish individual who is sitting at the end of the bar, making sure that no one sits down in the seat next to him.
All right. Can I want to try and like lock eyes with Bree and Garrick, and like motion over to the gnome at the bar, and then I like point to myself and point to the half elf in the corner.
Roll perception, Bree and Garrick.
At least I'm better at this.
Notice me.
Zarn, roll sleight of hand.
I do.
Oh, that's
You know what?
probably
I have
not good.
double proficiency in that.
It's not
Okay.
terrible.
You managed to do this subtly enough that the Minotaurs you are sitting next to playing a dice game with don't like realize that you're doing anything. Like,
Yes.
and then Garrick, you catch him motioning over towards the gnome.
I kind of like give him like a cocked eyebrow and then we like, kind of just nod slowly and then elbow Bree and kind of nonchalantly like give the thumb to the gnome.
You do
And then-
what? Okay.
Like,
And then can I also like respectfully like walk away from the Minotaurs? Like I guess I'll pay out whatever I bet.
Yeah. You close up shop. You didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, and then I want to kind of poke Gax and bring Gax with me.
Gax is at the bar. You want to look at the bar first?
Oh, are you at? I didn't know.
No,
if
I
you were
probably
at the bar.
would have wandered over to the dice game just to watch.
Okay. That's fine.
well, I
So,
forgot to add the money that I bet with that one campaign. I think it was the off the rails crew. I forgot to add that in there. So
Don't worry about it. What's that thing I was doing? Okay, there we go. Okay. So then so we'll go ahead and do we'll do Garrick and Bree first. So you guys make your way over to the gnome at the end of the bar, yes?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. What are you doing? I guess you walk up. So this is gnomish male individual, shortish black hair, a little bit unkempt and frazzled. He wears glasses that look a bit dirty and does seem to be a sailor by the looks of his outfit, and no visible weapons on him or anything.
It's me.
Okay, well, Bree's gonna trip over Garrick, throw her ale on the guy.
You're gonna okay.
Garrick is like halfway to like kind of like lean his head down to talk to her just as she trips.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Make
fling my
a-
ale on him.
Make a performance.
Make a performance check.
I knew
Yeah.
you were gonna say
check. I so guessed
Yeah.
that.
Oh, 21.
Nice.
All right. You appear. You are stage falling like a pro. You trip and fling your ale all over this gnome. He's just drenched. He gets up in his meat like, oh, man, and sort of freaking out a little bit. And he's like, and then he sort of turns to you and he's like, are you okay? Do you need help? Because you're sort of like laying on the floor still.
And I'm gonna get up and I'm going, oh, I'm so sorry. I must have had too much to drink. And I'm just gonna sort of like pat him down. I'm trying to, mop up the thing, but really I'm like trying to see if he's got anything in his pockets.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Rogues, people.
Second.
She's a bard.
Oh, right, yeah. I thought she was a... For some reason, I was thinking she's a rogue. Oh, it's not gonna be good.
Holy shit.
Natural 20.
You managed to find inside of his pocket about 15 gold in a small pouch, as well as a fairly cheap silver ring.
Okay. So I'm gonna offer to get him another drink, because, I feel so bad.
Buy him a drink with his money.
He's sort of still a little bit shaken, and he's sort of like, yeah, that's fine, thank you. And if you don't mind getting a tapkin, a towel, something, I would appreciate it. I am a little bit wet. Thank you.
I'll go get him a towel and a drink. How much gold did I get off of him, did you say?
15.
You got 10 or 15 gold off of him, yeah.
Awesome.
15.
And then it was
Okay,
3
so you go buy him
silver
another
for beer, so okay.
Bring it back over.
And a
At this
towel.
point, he's now seated. He's sitting back down in his bar stool, sort of still, eyes flickering back towards the entrance a little bit. What would you like to do?
Oh, to say, I'm really terribly sorry, and I'll give him the beer and the towel, and I'll keep sort of mopping him up. And I said, oh, you didn't have a date or something, did you, that you're waiting for? You look like you're waiting for someone.
Actually, I did. I'm waiting for, she's someone I just met a couple of days ago, and I was told she would be here, but it's been almost 2 hours now, and I'm not sure what I should do.
2 hours is a long time to wait for a woman, I'm telling you.
Gnomes on a
Or a
blind
man.
date, you spill your
Or,
drink on him.
or a man. It could be anything. 2 hours is a long time.
After Bree tripped, Garrick, to kind of keep it going, kept walking and, sat at a table where nobody was sitting. Just to kind of keep the charade going.
Solid.
Sure.
He's sort of like, I know, but I haven't met anyone in so long, and she was very pretty, and I didn't want to think that. I guess it has been too long, hasn't it? I should go, shouldn't I?
Was she a gnome, or what did she look like?
Well, she's tall and green, an orc actually.
An orc.
Ooh. Breaking
Yes.
stereotypes.
I really liked her.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Ask the name. I'm really curious. Oh my god.
You could ask around town, if I run into her, I'll bop her one.
Her name was Skalda, or at least that's what she told me. Now I'm a little bit concerned. And then at
She
this
didn't
point,
rob you, did she?
no,
Sometimes women
of course
do that.
not.
You better check your
Oh my
purse.
god.
No, she didn't do any such thing. I just met her around, and I'm not here for very long. But she really struck my fancy, and and then as she's sitting there, sort of, his hands are sort of going like a mile a minute, just sort of wringing wringing his fingers and talking to you all nervous like, and suddenly he looks up and he goes, "Oh, there she is!" And you turn around, and at the door there's this massive, like 6'6" orc woman, just like tangled shocks of black hair, wearing tattered leather armor, who walks in, and she looks over and sees him at the bar, and like sort of scurries as only a 6'6" orc can scurry, over to the bar, and she says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so sorry that I'm late. I was asleep, and I'm so sorry." And they immediately just embrace him. It's super adorable.
Yes.
Hope you get lucky.
What?
Gonna leave.
Jesus Christ!
What did we get the gnome? We didn't get the gnome's name, did we?
No, I was gonna ask, but the girl came.
Yeah.
What? That's what the sailors always say when they go to port. Hope you get lucky.
All right.
He
Gax
won't
and
now that he
Zarn.
can't pay for anything.
All right. Yeah, Gax and Zarn, you guys are over walking over to this corner table where there's a half-elven woman sitting by herself. She is blonde and curvy, I guess is the right way to call it, and not afraid to show off said curves.
All right, Zarn.
Zarn hit it big.
Zarn is tapping in.
That was not what I thought you were going to say.
Keep it guessing. All right. So Zarn's gonna take a seat right next to her, pop his feet up on the table, kind of lean back a little bit in the chair, and say, "Waiting for somebody?"
You put your feet on the table.
Oh yeah.
Zarn
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
give a damn.
Zarn is suave.
Bree is gonna thunk her head on the table.
You're not there. You're talking to a gnome at the moment. You're currently spilling beer on a gnome.
Oh, is this happening at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, that's happening at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, you sit down and put your legs up on the table, and she takes a look over at you and she says, "Yes, I am, and it's not you."
Oh!
Give me a minute of your time. I can probably change your mind.
What?
Convince me. You'll have to do a lot of convincing.
I mean, doesn't this convince you enough?
Roll a persuasion check.
And have you met his sidekick?
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Come on! Come on!
Oh, yes!
She immediately pours her drink on your head.
Yes!
Let's go two for the women.
Oh, this is great!
And then says, "Pretty sure it's not enough."
Oh!
I wipe the... What was it? Did she pour ale or wine? What she poured on me?
Ale.
Ale? Alright. I wipe it off, sniff it, give it a little lick. Like, good stuff. Another round!
At a table off to the side, as this happens, you hear a loud from Garrett spinning his ale out.
What is Gax
Wow, that
doing out
was
of curiosity?
I was going to sit next to him, but
Stab her.
He's doing so well.
I swerved to the side and sit 2 seats down from him instead of next to him.
Never mind. Okay. So, you sort of just call for another round. The bartender looks over and goes, "Fuck off!"
All right.
Finger
You
guns.
get the impression that the bartender doesn't leave behind the bar.
All right. Good man. I know him. We do that joke all the time. It's really funny. I come here a lot.
She's just looking at you like you're the dumbest thing she's ever seen, and an orc is about to walk through the doors.
Well, and there's a goblin sitting right next to him, so.
Yeah, and there's a goblin nearby. Yeah.
I say, so, who are you waiting for? Brother, cousin, dad, boyfriend?
None of your business.
I'm just trying to make some polite conversation. I mean, seem like you're lonely. You seem to be looking around a lot. Just want to make sure you're not. Let me keep you company until your friend arrives. How about that?
Since Garrick didn't go with Bree, can he see what's going on here?
You can see, you saw the drink get dumped on his head, and now they're just sort of talking. That's what you can see. You can't hear anything all the way across.
I would have heard the
bar.
bartender, right? And I would have seen him like do that. And
Yeah, you would have heard him yell for another round, and the bartender say "fuck off." Yes.
And then you would have seen finger guns.
Yes.
Garrick is going to get up and walk over to their table. He's gonna
Okay.
He's gonna set down his drink, lean on it, and go, "Ma'am, is this guy bothering you?
How?
Do you need me to take care of him for you?"
Bothering me? Yes. Take care of him? No, I can handle myself, thank you.
Oh, beat it, mask face.
Garrick picks up his drink, and as he walks away, he dumps it on Zarn's head
Oh,
and walks away.
Gak says, "This is a new game," and pours it on him too.
God damn it, Ken. God damn it.
And then I go up to the bar and order another drink.
So does Garrick.
As they leave, I kind of, with my long flowing hair, I kind of do a little flick, kind of like slow motion, like as it like waves a little bit, or like kind of just like stare at her again as my hair is kind of flowing behind me, like someone down the, someone else turns a fan on, maybe, just like blowing.
As you flip your hair, beer splashes in her face. From your hair, which is soaked in beer.
Not going well. So I just stand up and I go, I'm gonna go now. It's been a pleasure. Never got your name. I'm Zarn. You are?
Not abused.
Fuck off.
That works.
All right. I'll see you later. And then I boop her on the nose and then I leave.
Oh.
Boop her on the nose.
Let's go. But you've been adorable.
Oh, he's
That's
quite charmer.
Roll a dexterity check from the biggest slap you'll ever have.
You boof her on the nose, and she just glares at you. Like, you can feel, like, there's, like, a spot right here on your forehead, and it's, like, burning because of how hard she's staring at you.
I back away into the crowd like...
Like Homer Simpson into the bush.
Yeah, it's just fade back into the crowd. I turn to Gax. What the hell, man? Where was the backup? God damn it.
That was a fun game.
Okay. Fun game. Anything else you guys want to do in here?
Is there anything else I can do in here? I've already made an ass of myself in front of everybody.
A little bit.
That was great. I'm sorry, that was great.
By the way, as you walk back into the sort of crowd of the bar, the Minotaur that one of the Minotaurs you're sitting with before turns around and looks over to you and goes, "Nice going."
Add insult to injury. I love it.
That's all right. Whatever.
Just saying. Sailors, man.
Is there
Kinda
a
assholes.
place that I can stand in the bar where I can see each of the people? Like at the bar, or
If you
want
want to stand on a bar stool or a table or something, sure. Like, there are places that you could physically stand on.
Well, no, I'm wanting to get into a place in the bar where I can see the reaction of everybody all at once.
You
Do I need to stand on.
I
a
guess
stool to
climb
do
on the
that?
bar is probably the best way to do that. Or at least a bar stool.
might do
I
a bar
also have an
stool.
idea as well.
I go up to a bar stool that I can, once I stand on it, I can see everybody's reaction, and I say, "Galind," and see if anybody turns and looks.
That's a way to do it.
You notice as you stand up and yell, "Galind," it doesn't go quiet, but it gets quieter. You notice that most of the sailors sort of like don't pay much attention to you.
Right.
But almost all the tieflings,
yeah, okay.
The bartender and a few others turn towards you and just sort of
but none of them
stare at
like,
you,
like look and see
in
who's
shock.
talking, but more like turn slowly.
It's more like, what the fuck are you doing?
Tom Bosley! Did he look?
As you do that, Gak, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Does the half-elf have any reaction to that name?
The half-elf has the same reaction as everyone else.
Like, she's like, why? Okay.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as you do that, the barkeep reaches up and grabs your arm and attempts to pull you down.
Acrobat. Well, athletics is better.
No. Yeah, it was basically an opposed strength check and opposed athletics check. He does not manage to pull you down, but he like tries to pull and like you just don't budge, and he looks up at you and he says,
"How big is he? Can I pull him over the bar?"
He's like 6 feet tall. You would have had to get him much higher. Okay, you can.
I'm standing on the bar stool.
Roll athletics.
I could lean back.
Roll athletics.
Tug of war.
Roll athletics. If you want to try to grab him and pull over, are you actually going to do that?
He grabbed me, so I'm like, "All right, you want to come this way? Go right ahead." Boof.
Oh.
All right. With that roll, you pull and actually manage to bodily pull him over the bar. You fall off the bar stool and he lands on top of you.
Can I steal some ale? I'm kidding.
Hold on.
I'm kidding.
At this point, the whole bar is watching now. This was loud. The bartender sort of like, whoa! And sort of like just falls on you, right? And sort of a big crash, the bar stool sort of falls over and like, right?
Gotta watch who you're grabbing.
He looks down and is like, "What are you doing? Why would you do that?"
You grabbed me. I'm defending myself.
No, shut up. But he sort of climbs back up and stands up. Do you not know who that is?
What is? And I look over at Zarn. Who he is?
No. And he kind of whispers it, and he says, Galind, dude, don't bring attention to yourself."
And I shout, "If anybody's looking for me, I'm right here." Did any of the
He just sort of
leave?
shakes his head and looks down at you, and he says, "Ay."
Did any of the tieflings leave while all this was going on?
No, they're all sort of generally just entranced and a bit shocked by what's happening. And he's like,
"Okay,
You're gonna get yourself killed, my friend." And he stands up and walks back around the bar.
Yeah, did anybody head for the door at all?
Roll perception?
Alright,
Can we
do
all do
well.
that?
Yeah, you can all do that, except for Gax, because he was on the floor.
Come on. Not terrible.
Ooh.
Okay. You guys did not really notice anyone heading for the door. Everyone seemed to be just sort of like, if they weren't shocked at first by the yelling of the name Galind, when the bartender got bodily pulled over the bar and a bar stool fell over, everyone was sort of like, "What the hell?" And was sort of
by
centering
a
on that.
3-foot goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bree wants to walk up to Garrick with her beer. And then she's going to say, hey, aren't you the blue arrow? And she's going to quickly look around and see if there's any reaction. Because she has been telling blue arrow stories throughout the Port District.
Okay.
Garrick,
hold on.
Garrick ignores
What is-
her and keeps drinking his ale.
You see a couple of people, Bree, upon you saying that thing about the blue arrow. You see a couple of people. It looks like an elf and a half elf who are sitting next to each other, kind of near you, not real close. Sort of perk up their ears at that and look over at Garrick and sort of like, oh my god, is that him?
It is.
But
you
they don't-
totally are, aren't you? You're the blue arrow.
Still ignoring her, drinking his ale.
Totally him. It's totally him.
If my situation has been resolved, I want to go up to him. Can I have your autograph?
If I'm there, I'm like, oh my god, is that Jarn? Like, oh my god, yes, it's me.
With your
Whoa,
beer-soaked clothes.
Yeah,
Calm down,
just still
guys.
covered in 3 full beers.
Can I use shape water to pull it all out into like a little orb of ale?
Yes,
Is that possible?
yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yes.
I would like to do that, and it lasts for an hour, so I want to have the orb in front of me and just kind of like sip from the orb.
Ask for a straw at the bar. You got a straw
You
for
can
this?
absolutely
straw?
do that.
Can I get a straw? Thank you.
He hands over a straw.
Alright, so now there's just be an orb of ale following me around as I just like sip out of it. I look back at the half elf. Delicious! Thank you!
So then
That
Bree's
is the
going to
best
say to the blue arrow who's ignoring her, she's going to say, so blue arrow, my beer's sort of cool. You know what would be really cool? If I had an ice cube that never melted. That would be awesome.
Garrick just closes his eyes like, please stop, please stop, please stop.
You ever heard
I
of
know where to find one of those.
Where?
There's
I'm
alright.
so interested in one of those.
I feel like Jarn would try to be subtle, but he'd end up being really obvious. At the museum, there's a thing that doesn't melt. Is that what you mean?
And it's for drinks? That's so
Zarn
cool.
and Bree, roll performance, please.
Oh damn it! Hey, all right, 17, not terrible.
Okay. There appear to be a few people around you who are. They're not like paying attention to you, but you can tell that they're listening to the conversation at least somewhat.
Ah, yes. I can't believe they don't even guard it. It's crazy. Just walk in there and grab it, and then your drinks will be cold forever.
Man, I totally want one.
Man, if I was a guy that needed ice, I'd totally go grab it, because no one's there.
At the museum.
Yeah, I'd totally wait like an hour or two before I went, but then I'd
What
go.
museum did you say it was?
The good one.
I
The
feel like you
Museum
should
of
have had
Elemental
them
Art.
roll.
The
I feel
Museum
like
of Elemental Art.
you should have had them roll with disadvantage.
What are you talking about? My acting skills are on point. I'm also drinking out of my ale orb, so I look pretty awesome.
You would look awesome if the orb was just kind of floating there and you had like a really long straw that came out. You just got your arms crossed like this, just like.
I kind of want that now. Just like hooking up a bunch of straws just into this like an orb that's like
Yeah.
right behind me. Thank you, Shape
All right.
Water.
That's amazing. Okay. So, okay. Anything else while you're here?
So did we see any interesting reactions to that or not?
Roll perception.
Everyone or just Bree?
Anyone who's paying attention. Hello, puppy.
Ooh.
He's
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's so big and annoying now.
It's a
Okay.
puppy.
So you guys notice a few
Oh.
people who seem sort of vaguely interested in this concept, but nobody is like really perking up like you might expect if they were, say, expecting someone to have stolen it.
Okay.
Ooh,
Listen,
Bless you.
thank you.
Did you tell Quads bless you?
He didn't
not?
hug me.
You stink. Go away.
Anything else?
You stink.
Hmm.
I'm super hot right now.
All the
Quads is
women
so
are
hot
finding
right
you
now.
so attractive right now.
Hmm. What time is it?
At this point, you've probably got about an hour and a half until you got to be back at the museum for your shift.
Hmm.
that was a
Gotcha.
successful outing for me. I need a profit.
Garrick at this point is going to finish the last of his ale, put the mug down, and walk out of the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shove the rest of the ale orb into my mouth and then follow him, and just follow Quads out, or follow Garrick out. Sorry.
I was like, follow who up?
Bree's gonna say it's totally him.
Like when Zarn did that, all I could think of was that one. I don't know if it was a Vine or a video of like two people, like two like high school kids or college kids in a class, and a guy's got like one of those plastic bottles full of water. He just like puts it in his mouth like he's gonna drink it, and then he just does this, and the entire water bottle was gone, and it was like that. Like he drank all of the water in one shot. That's all it reminded me of.
All right.
He's so talented.
So you guys are all walking outside now.
Yes, I take one big more sip of the ale orb, and then as I leave, I kind of like flick it at the half elf. Like, bye.
Okay.
So it crashes on her, or
Just a little bit. Yeah. Like, oh my god, so sorry.
Okay.
Just straight
She
face.
glares at you more.
You know, I'm
you
gonna
guys walk
find-
outside.
You know, I'm gonna find
Yeah.
it hilarious when it ends up being that half elf is the sister of the half elf that was crying.
Oh,
That
she's
is
gonna
going to be
hate me.
hilarious.
She's
They
gonna
both
hate-
will.
So you guys walk outside just for funsies. All of you roll perception, please.
Oh yeah,
Someone roll.
I'm sure it's
Someone
just
roll an at 20. Please, someone roll an at 20. Because I did not.
I didn't.
I rolled the
No, you didn't.
I do.
Bree and
17.
Zarn.
Oh, Bree did. Hey, hey.
Bree and
Yeah, she
Zarn,
did.
you both distinctly hear what sounds awfully suspiciously like orcish and gnomish grunts of pleasure from around the alley.
Oh!
Yay! He got lucky.
I'm like, is someone skinning a cat? What is happening?
That's a sewing needle down a hallway. It's gotta be.
Oh man!
Jesus Christ! Oh my God, John! Oh,
Oh my god.
staplers.
Okay.
Staplers everywhere.
Staplers.
Okay.
Oh
should be
God.
So
red in
you
the
guys are-
face.
So what are you guys doing now? You've got hour and a half until you got to be at the museum.
What should we?
Anything, or are you just gonna go burn time until you get there?
Garrick
Yeah, I
and
guess-
Garrick and True not being able to sit for too long fashion is going to start like exercising. Whether it's like
Okay.
kind of like jogging around the area and that type of stuff.
Fair enough. Okay. So you guys make your way back over towards the Gateway District, sort of hang out either at the inn or, in Garrick's case, is jogging around the block several times and such. And then I assume at around the appointed time you head over to the museum again.
Now, is Garrick running laps around something, or is he running like one trail? Because if he's running laps, I want to take a chair and sit in his route and like eat a big sandwich every time he runs past me.
I thought you were gonna pull a Captain America and be like, on your left.
No, I'm sitting there. I'm like, good pace. Ah. He eats the medieval equivalent of cheesesteaks.
Fair enough.
I feel like they would have cheesesteaks back then. It's essentially just cheese and like
Steak.
Eat bread.
They have that.
They have that, yeah.
I had
Yes.
a pulled boar
They have those
sandwich,
things.
so I mean,
Yes. So I'm eating cheesesteaks every time he runs by.
Perfect. So then, after a little bit of those shenanigans, you guys head over to the museum, where you are met by Galitaia and Ibn. After some brief conversation, they walk you over to the center of the pavilion again, and Galitaia informs you that the password to get out for this evening, should you need to, is Tempest.
Oh, I like that
Oh,
word.
you can remember that one.
Tempest or
Tempest.
Tempest.
Tempest. Tempest.
Okay.
I tell them that I love their code word.
She nods.
Tim's
Snaps her fingers, and the elevator descends. The floor descends, I guess. You guys stop in the center of the museum again. Let me move you to that.
So, are we gonna have Norin here, or
Norin is here.
okay.
Norin is present.
Gotcha. Is there any way I can get my new token on there?
Yeah, I can change your token. Give
Can
me
I
a
do
sec.
that? Oh, geez, I deleted my token.
Yes, you did. That's fine. I can put the right one on there for you. Maybe. Okay, it's on your sheet. Give me a second.
I think I just put it in there. Maybe
It's right there.
I just can't see anything.
Yeah, hold on.
Thanks to RP, by the way, looking awesome. I love it.
Turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
I need to make a cool token soon.
Do you prefer having
There you
the
go.
square ones, or because I made mine from a circle, but
Well,
I have a
we-
square one.
Ours are just like we dragged and dropped.
Yeah,
from
at the
our
moment they're all
character
square.
sheets.
If I wanted to get fancy, I'd probably use circles, but it doesn't matter that much. Squares are just easier for me to manipulate with my horrific Photoshop skills.
Yes.
So
I can make tokens in case anybody cares.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
fair
Like
enough.
if you give me the picture, I can actually turn it into a circle token with the outline and everything.
Noted. I'll keep that in mind. So you guys are in the museum now, and
I
your
still can't
shift
see
has
that.
begun. I need to assign light to that token. Sorry, hold on. You're human, right?
Yes. Whee! There we
There you
go.
go.
Token. Okay, so I feel like what we did last night worked out pretty well.
Yeah, well, I'm not being so
I- Yeah, I was gonna recommend there's somebody else being on the other end, or I was there actually. Norin was up here.
Yeah, I was gonna take my same spot over by that the pool water, if that's cool.
Norin offers to go stand on the other end.
Oh, the far end where I was stuck?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll stand about here. Can I see stuff from here?
Well, isn't this Norin? Oh yeah, okay, that's Norin. Gotcha. Whoop. Okay, Garrick's here.
Let me see. Okay, here I can see stuff.
Actually, Garrick is going to sit back here. instead of there. I can see Bree from here too.
All right. You guys happy with your positions?
Yes.
And Gax and Zark are up under the object.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys sit around and hang out. Go ahead and roll perception.
I lean up against the wall like Zarn did last week.
Yes. We're James Dean in it.
Fuck!
Garrick has fallen asleep.
Oh, wow.
So has
Zarn has also fallen asleep.
Wow.
That's so
let me-
I think this is
I'll
going to
roll
be
for
the
Norman
exact
as well.
opposite. It's going to be
I
the
got
exact
too cocky.
opposite of
Go
last
ahead.
week.
Yep. Like I'm too cocky. I'm like too comfortable in my James Dean pose, and I'm like, oh.
This
That's for
time,
Norin. that
this
last
time,
one.
Gax kicks Zarn.
So none of you, including Bree, notice anything at any point throughout the night. It goes by uneventfully.
Oh, exciting.
I didn't get to shoot
The
it.
morning, you did not get to shoot anything. I'm very sorry. Eventually, the center of the museum, you all sort of turn and you see some cracks of pale daylight start to come from the ceiling as the lift drops slowly down into the center, with Ibn and Elia on it. As you guys walk over, you can see that Elia is noticeably upset.
Oh god. Can I insight her to try to figure out why she's so upset?
That's not really how insight works. You don't get to mind read by inciting.
Never mind.
You can ask her.
We could ask her. Hey, Leah, how come you look so upset?
What's up your butt?
Well, actually, I guess this might concern you. So sometime last night, the prisoners that you captured, they were taken to the City Watch headquarters where the cells are, and she's like sniffling, and you can tell that her eyes are red a little bit, and she says, "Well, and they were killed at some point during the night, and my friend, who's the night guard there, is accused of it, and I just don't think she's capable of such a thing. But I don't know what happened, and I don't know what to think."
How long have they been dead?
A few hours? I don't really know. I only just found out this morning.
We need to go there now.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything we can do. It's already done.
I can bring them back.
Well, it's probably too late.
I don't know. Would it be too late? I guess probably it would. Because I have Spare the Dying as a cantrip.
Spare the Dying is like a minute afterwards, isn't it?
Never
Something.
mind.
Something like that.
I don't remember
I
for
don't
sure,
know.
but I'm pretty sure it's like fast.
Hold on, let me bring up my cleric here.
I don't say that.
Hold on, I'm checking this spell now. Give me a second. Spare the Dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. You gather.
Never mind.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't be dead yet.
I don't do that.
So Elia is clearly very upset about this, as she and Ibn is doing his best to sort of comfort her, but is a little bit lost in the situation. He's not the most charismatic, friendly type. He's rather bookish, and basically she sort of explains to you about her friend and just discusses how gentle she thinks her friend is, and how there's just no way she could have done this. She doesn't believe it, and not in a million years. She does pay each of you, except for Garrick, your 25 gold.
Can
He's
can I walk up
distraught.
to her and be like, can we like just divvy up his gold if that's okay?
I think Bree already tried that.
She just gives you 25 gold for today's. She's just distraught and doesn't really care.
She gives it to me.
Yeah, she gives you.
She
25
gave you
gold. She gives you another
yours.
sack.
Oh,
No, she gives him another sack of 25 gold.
Oh, wow.
All right, so I
Gar-
look over at
Garrick,
Bree and I'm like,
Well, I got 25 earlier.
you got 15 earlier.
Or 20.
15.
Or 20.
You really should have just been a rogue. Like, seriously.
So, okay. So then, after she pays you, she snaps fingers again and activates the lift, and you guys lift out into the pale blue daylight of the morning. What would you like to do?
Garrick, what's the woman's name?
Elia.
Okay. I didn't actually write these down like I probably should have. Okay, so it's Ibn. How do you spell Elia?
Ibun. Elia is Eliah.
so should we go check out this crime scene?
Garrick asks her, it's like there was nothing found, like were the doors just wide open?
She doesn't know the details. Basically, she's I don't know. I just know that my friend is being held under suspicion, and I can't believe she could have done it, and I don't know any details. I haven't been there. I just so she doesn't know, basically.
I think we should go check it
I'm
out.
assuming that this all happened in guard property, not just out in the open.
Yeah, she did say that it happened. They were sort of under lock and key at the City Watch headquarters, where the like holding cells are.
So it's not like they're going to let us tromp all over the scene.
Well, it's not the city. Excuse me, not the City Watch headquarters. The Gateway District Watch HQ.
Garrick is going to put his left hand on her left shoulder, so he's like standing kind of like left shoulder to left shoulder,
Right.
and just we're gonna find out what happened. This is part of our duty.
Duty.
Ha! I knew you were gonna say that. And don't worry, we'll figure things out. He gives her a nod and starts walking towards the city guard place.
Don't worry, the blue arrow is on the case.
Does Bree really mumble that?
Yeah, of course she did.
Under her breath and off to the side, don't worry, the blue arrow is on the case.
I love it.
It's great having your own sidekick, isn't it, John?
Oh yeah.
I've got a story for him later, actually, about people in costumes.
Right. So you guys are gonna make your way towards the HQ of the district watch. Elia points you in the right direction. She's able to give instructions towards where it is. You guys make your way across sort of the main thoroughfare, walking west this time, a little bit further west into the city. Let me pop back. Ooh. Damn it.
Bless you. Times two.
Bless you.
One more.
I thought you were getting better.
I thought I was too. But this is, I don't know. Colds are weird for me, man. Ooh.
Cold.
So, you guys walk into the. Excuse me, just a second. I need to blow my nose.
Do 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 do
I cast healing word on Quad.
I was doing it more of elevator music than anything.
I've got that too.
Elevator music's more like.
Okay. So you guys make your way over to the headquarters of the Gateway Watch, and you find as you get over there, it's not a huge building. It's sort of a decent size for the area, but not like gigantic, and it's not super well. It's just sort of looks like a regular building, basically, except there's a sign over it that just says Gateway Watch, like sort of in front of it. And there appears to be a main entrance up in front, and then that you can see as you walk up towards it.
This
What
is
would
a
you like to
different
do?
place than I went to before.
Yes, before was the Grand Temple in Temple Square, right? And that was the head of like city government, and so Captain Kimte that you met there was the head of the city watch, and so like all of it. This is the
Okay.
headquarters for the gateway section of the watch.
So is
Okay.
there like somebody at the gate or something that we can go talk to?
There's not really a gate. It's sort of just a building with. It looks pretty well, it's thick walls and stuff. But it's a building, and there's a pair of double doors up front that you can see as you walk up.
Are the doors open?
No, they're closed, but I mean, it doesn't look like. I mean, yeah, they're closed at the moment.
But I mean, are we like locked out or can we just walk in?
You haven't. Are you going to walk up and try the doors?
Yeah.
Just gonna walk in. Hey, people, how's it going?
Okay. If you walk up and push on the doors, and they swing open freely.
Awesome. I'm going right on in.
I follow.
X's too.
Eric.
Oh, Garrick will go in too. It's not the order I was expecting, but all right.
Yeah. So all four of you walk in, and you find yourselves in sort of like a small waiting area. Sort of. There's an elven man sitting behind a desk wearing the pale blue and light green uniform of the City Watch that you have seen a few times before. He's sort of sitting there just shuffling papers, and as you walk in, he takes a look at you and he says, "Yes, can I help you?"
So Bree's gonna walk right up to him and she's gonna say, "Oh, excuse me, sir. We had a couple prisoners brought over here earlier yesterday and we need to question them again."
Can you tell me who they were?
Well, it was an elf and a tiefling from the museum. And they've got information.
You
we
were the
need.
ones who captured them.
Yes.
I'm afraid, well, they were killed last night, it would seem.
Her
They're
crying got on your nerves.
What?
I say what? And
I mean,
slam
it's
my axe.
understandable. She cried a lot. But, killing her seems a little bit much.
He sort of looks at you very strangely, and he says,
Nice.
I rather doubt that's what happened. We have a suspect in custody at the moment.
Really?
What happened to them?
Well, actually, they appear to have been stabbed by our night guard.
So it was you.
And he mutters something under his breath.
Pardon me, I didn't catch that.
Nothing, excuse me. If anyone would like, actually, Bree, since you're speaking to him, make a perception check.
Oh, hold on, that's so cute.
You can do it.
I'll try.
Damn, I don't get that yet.
No, you didn't really catch what he said.
Well,
So you ask him what it was, and he says, nothing. It's nothing. Our night guard appears to have been the culprit, unfortunately. They were found stabbed with her spear.
Can we investigate the crime scene?
If you'd like to go look at the cells, that's fine. I can show you back there.
Yes, please.
Any chance we could talk to the guard?
Yes, she's in the cells at the moment. Actually, if you'd like to, we have no issue with that.
Awesome.
He escorts the five of you through a door, sort of off to the side behind him. You walk through what is a fairly busy place with several people, probably a dozen, maybe a couple dozen people in the watch uniform, mostly elves and half-elves. You do see a couple of humans and a couple of tieflings. So you do note that the two tieflings are both sitting in desks in the corner, and no one else is speaking to them. And so he walks you through this area and then into another door, which leads into an area that has looks to be about 6 cells. It's dim and a bit dingy in here. And there is a door. It's sort of like a hallway, 3 cells on either side, and then a door at the back that appears to lead outside. And that door is locked and barred, and visibly so from here. He walks you up and down, and all the cells appear to be empty at the moment, except for one, which has inside of it a dark green-skinned tiefling woman. She's got brown dreadlocked hair pulled back and very long black horns that point probably about a foot above her head, and she's already fairly tall for a woman at 5'9". And she's sitting there. She is still wearing her watch uniform. She seems to have been put there upon, like she didn't go home after being at the night shift, working. And you can also definitely see that there are some recent bloodstains visible on the cell that she's currently in.
Garrick
He takes
Garrick looks at the guard that brought them down there and goes, "You put her in the same cell that one of the other two that was killed in? Don't you think that's heartless?"
I'm more concerned about the fact that she killed them, to be honest. Ask her what you will, and he turns around and walks out.
So what happened?
She sort of looks up at you. What do you care? Who are you?
We know Aaliyah. She's concerned about you, so we said we'd check it out.
She sort of puts her head in one hand, and she's like, Aaliyah. I haven't spoken to her in so long. How did she even... Whatever. It's not my problem. It wasn't me. I know how it looks. I know. I've been working here for years now, and despite what some of these prejudiced assholes think, I've done nothing but good things. Nothing but good. I've done my job. And last night I came in, sat down, had my cup of tea, and then was out. I don't know what happened. I didn't wake up till the next morning, and
at any point in the night, is there a period of time that you do not recall?
Yeah, from the time she had her tea till the morning.
As I said, I passed out, which I never do that. I sleep during the day. I drink tea through the night to ensure that I'm alert, even though nothing ever happens. We rarely even keep prisoners in here. Last night was the first time we've had prisoners in months.
Garrick is going to look over at the rest and say, I believe she did it. However, I don't think she did it on her own.
Do
I
you
don't think she did it just because you like the crying elf.
Garrick's
you say
actually going to like form a fist and then like clench it really tight and let it go.
As you say that you think she did it, she reaches out and grabs the barge and says, "You're all fucking the same. None of you can look past the fact that I have fucking horns. I didn't do it."
At that point, Garrick looks directly in her face and points and says, "I don't think you did it by yourself. I am not racist." Well,
I had
that's
no
not a good
part
thing to say.
in this.
racist?
I think
I don't think you did it.
you said yourself you never fall asleep. You are always vigilant, and I take your word on that. I think something happened. Someone messed with your head. Someone controlled you mentally and made you do it.
You don't think
I
it's
don't
something
think
as
you
simple
did it
as
in your own will.
slipping
Instead of just
poison in
drugging
the
them,
tea?
taking her stuff, and
Yeah, I think someone's. Is
Someone-
her tea still around?
Someone willed you to do it.
You'd have to check over at the guard desk up front. I doubt it. I can't imagine it would be.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything with it. I woke up and not more than 10 minutes afterwards I was being dragged back here by my lovely coworkers.
How do they feel about having a tiefling in the watch?
Most of them, I mean, what do you think? Nobody likes tieflings around here. There's a few that are fine, but
Is there
we
anyone
get the shit
that
into the stick and everything.
is there anyone that in particular you've had a lot of disagreements with?
All of them, practically. Not all. I mean, there's a couple of other
Wow.
tieflings in there, and they're fine. And there's, I don't know.
You are a wellspring of information. Thank you.
Susanna's all right. The redheaded half elf, she's okay.
Is the place locked up normally at night?
Yeah, and it was locked up tight as a drum. I checked it myself.
Does anybody work with you during the night shifts, or is it just you?
Not usually, but I mean, the chief's here late most nights. She was last night.
The chief.
Yeah, Chief Mindy Celeste. She'll be here now. If you want to talk to her, I guess. Not that it'll do you much good. She helped drag me in here with the rest of them.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say you have a cup of tea every night when you work the night watch?
Yeah, helps keep me up.
Does anybody know that you have a cup of tea every night?
I imagine so. I don't hide it. Don't make a thing out of it.
Okay. Put on my sunglasses and I walk away. Yeah.
Of course, I don't have it set up. Okay. Garrick. No, Garrick is going to look at the others and say, "I have to go do something. I'll be back in a bit," and then walks out.
Walks
No,
out
that's not-
where?
that's not-
Just back
that's not
into the...
Back in the main area and out of the building.
No, that's not shady.
Okay.
I think
I'm
he did it.
told the tiefling lady not to mind him because sometimes he just says things odd and he doesn't mean them that way.
Yeah,
He's
he's got this
normally
weird
pretty
mask
okay.
where-
It's just a little weird. We don't really think he did it. And we're not prejudiced. I'm not even from here. I like tieflings just fine.
And
Yeah,
I'm a goblin,
appreciate-
so there's that.
I appreciate whatever help I suppose y'all are giving me. Do what you can. I won't count on much, to be honest. No offense to you, just the way it is.
Should we go talk to the chief?
Okay.
Well, let's just ask
Garrett.
her first if the prisoners actually said anything, if she even talked to the prisoners
Oh.
at all before they died, or.
That makes sense.
You're gonna ask the tiefling. You're gonna ask the tiefling that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You ask her that, and she says, "No, I didn't have any interaction with them. I had just gotten in, pretty much when I fell asleep. Basically, I remember almost nothing from last night. As I said, I knew they were back here. The end of shift day guys let me know that we actually had prisoners. And that was about it. Didn't get a chance to speak to them.
Your tea.
Probably wouldn't have anyway, to be honest.
Do
What about
you
it?
bring your tea in prepared at home, or do you prepare it here?
I prepared here.
So there's probably a tin somewhere that contains all the tea that you use normally.
I bring my own tea leaves and such, but I use the water from here, brew it here.
Is
So-
there perhaps a machine that she brews it in?
You think she's
No.
got like a Keurig or something?
Is it like a medieval Keurig or something?
She thinks for a second and she says, "So I guess last night, actually, Mindy brewed it for me."
Bum, bum, bum.
I was just gonna do that.
Dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. The plot thickens.
Oh yeah. It looks
And
like this
she's sort of
story is
sitting
just
there.
starting to get brewing.
And she sits there and sort of catches the gist of where you guys are going, and she just gets this. She appears very angry.
And she said that
Um,
Mindy was the nice one that didn't
No,
treat her
Mindy's
bad.
the chief.
Oh,
Mindy's the chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably in cahoots with this Galind person. Maybe she is Galind.
What? All right, let's. I think we should go talk to this Mindy person.
As a
Okay.
side note, do you
Garrett.
know who Galind is?
She
I'm gonna
says-
ask everybody.
Have you
says-
heard the good word of Galind?
I mean, I've heard of him. Everybody's heard of him. Know who he is? Don't think anybody knows that.
Let's go talk to the chief.
Garrick, what are you doing right now?
Garrick's gonna head over to the Temple Square,
Okay.
and he's gonna try and speak with Captain Kinte.
Okay. So you're walking over to Temple Square right now while this is
Yes.
happening. Because it's going to
Yes.
take you about 15 or 20 minutes to get there.
That's fine.
So then, Jarn, Gax, and Bree, you guys walk back into the main area, I guess, where all the watch folk are. Yes.
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 Yep.
Okay. And then,
I'm gonna ask for a cup of tea.
I'm gonna ask
Looking
whoever's
for the-
working the desk. Like, is there any way we could speak with the chief?
Chief
I can see if she's
Mindy.
available.
Yeah, just
Uh,
see if- no rush. No rush. We have time.
I can see if she's available, and he stands up and walks over to another door, sort of on the west or the left side of the room from the front doors where he walked in, and he knocks. He stands there for a few seconds, and then opens the door, sort of steps in for a bit and closes the door behind him. You wait for 20 or 30 seconds, and he walks back out, and he sort of walks over to you and he says, "She's available now if you want to talk to her."
That'd be fine.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so you guys walk in, walk over to the excuse me, to the door that you're in, and open it up and walk in. And inside you see it's a decently nice desk, well-appointed room. It's bright. There's a window and a couple of plants inside the room. And then seated behind the desk is a somewhat short but very attractive red-headed elf woman, extremely long red hair. She is wearing the uniform of the watch, and you do see that there is a single silver bar across the left chest of the uniform, which you imagine is a signifier of rank. As the three of you walk in, she stands. She is... How tall are you, Jorn?
He's about 6'3".
Okay, she's significantly shorter than you, but not nearly so short as Gaxerbri. She looks to be about 5'6". She stands up and she nods and she says, "Go ahead and take a seat. How can I help you?"
Oh, we were just speaking with one of your guardsmen you have locked up, because we were the ones who brought the prisoners in last night. We're just trying to get to the...
Yes.
Yes.
You said that, and she immediately says, "Thank you, by the way, for doing that. Good citizens, always welcomed here in the city."
Thank you.
What were your names, by the way? Oh, and excuse me, I'm Chief Mindy Celeste.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jarn. These are my companions.
I'm Bree. I'm gonna
Noted.
cough a
Thank you
little
all very much. And
oh, I'm so parched.
so, can I get you anything? Water, tea?
Tea would be lovely, thank you.
Absolutely. And she opens the door and she sort of yells out, "Susanna, can you bring in a couple of mugs of tea, please? Thank you." And closes the door back up.
Crap.
And then she goes and sits down behind the desk.
So, we're just trying to figure out everything that happened last night. I know we had brought the prisoners, and the night guard had come in later and was is under suspicion of being the one who murdered them. We're just kind of curious. Before this all happened, did they say anything to anyone? Did you have contact with them? Did any of the day guards have contact?
Well, the two that brought them in said that got information from you all, and we weren't able to get any more information from them while they were here. They were being held in the cells for trial in a few days, actually. And then, well, that option was taken from us for reasons yet unknown by an overzealous guard, I suppose. I'm chagrined to say.
Now,
I don't understand what she would stand to gain by killing them.
To be honest, I don't either. It's a bit of a mystery to me as well.
What time did you leave last night?
I left a little bit after sundown, as usual. I tend to stay late. Sonnet had just come in a few minutes earlier. That's Sonnet is well, the one that we think committed the crime.
So, when you left, she was just coming in?
She had been in for a little while before. It was just myself and her at that point.
Interesting. Did you speak with her throughout the night? Talk to her about things, check up on her, make her tea? I don't know. Does any of those things?
Not that I can think of. She gives you a bit of an eyebrow and is a little bit confused. Are you questioning me? What is something the matter?
I'm just trying to get the best information that I possibly can. I mean, if you have
We
obviously
do have 2 dead prisoners, you understand.
yeah.
Well, yes, but they were thieves. I mean, understandably, they should have been tried. Absolutely,
Who's
no doubt, should have been
investigating
tried.
their deaths?
But they were thieves, without a doubt. You caught them red-handed.
Oh, I agree entirely.
Who's
I
investigating
mean, and I can
the
understand that
deaths?
elf was really annoying.
What was that, Gax?
Who's investigating the deaths?
At the moment, actually, I'm handling it myself.
Have you
it's
found
an
anything
internal
so far?
issue, and I'm sorry.
Have you found anything so far in your investigation?
I'm afraid not. I haven't had much of a chance as of yet to speak to Sonnet and there were no other witnesses, of course. She's the only one who's in the building at night. We only keep one night guard. I don't really know. I mean, her spear was found in the prisoner.
So,
And
the hierarchy or structure of this city guard system that you have here is okay with investigating murders internally like this?
it's really the only option we have. I mean, I may call in some other I assume that some of the other heads of watch from the other districts will come help me out soon, but I mean, it's only been 3 or 4 hours, maybe.
Can I insight check her just to see, because I feel like something's off.
Yes, you can make an insight check. What are you looking for specifically?
I just feel like she's not acting like it's that a big, like, I feel like if you were the chief of police and someone murdered someone in your own police station, you'd be making a bigger deal out of it.
And plus,
Okay.
it would be investigated by somebody else.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Roll
connected to
insight.
the crime.
Okay, go ahead and roll insight.
I'll roll 2, but I get -1, so yay!
You can
Oh,
still
by
roll-
the way,
Aw.
about this time, there's a knock on the door, and a very
I'm looking at
pale,
the floor.
redheaded half-elf comes in with 2 mugs of tea, and sets them both down on the desk.
I feel like I would really like this half elf. I'm just saying.
She, Mindy, takes 1 mug and hands it to Bree and takes the other one herself.
Thank you.
No problem.
I would
Um,
like to stand and like lean against the door frame while the door's shut.
Okay, that's fine. Jarn, she seems mildly uncomfortable to you. She doesn't, but she is clearly a bit put off by the line of, she seems a bit put off, I guess, somewhat maybe by the line of questioning. You're not really sure. Yeah.
Well, Bree's gonna take a sip of her tea and she's gonna give her a big smile, and then she's gonna ask her, well, what was the lady's name? It began with an S. The
Sonnet.
murderer. Sonnet. How long had she been working here?
She's been here for 3 or 4 years now.
Have you ever had any problems with her?
I haven't.
So it's sort of surprising that she'd be involved in something like this then.
Well, tieflings.
Oh, well, what about tieflings? I'm not actually from around here. Keep hearing negative things about tieflings. What's wrong with tieflings?
I mean, some of them are fine, sure. There's a couple more on the force themselves that have never had any issues, much like Sonnet had until now, but you can't really trust them to keep their emotions under control, can you?
Oh, I haven't had very much to do with tieflings, so this is a good learning experience for me, so do tell me more.
I mean, there's a reason they don't often amount to much. Demonic blood and all that.
So you think she's a demon?
No, they literally have demonic blood. Make a sleight of hand check, Jarn.
Alright.
Whisper, whisper, whisper. Oh, very nice.
You succeed.
Okay. So after I do what I just did, I walk to the center of the room and I say something about your story doesn't add up, and I cast Zone of Truth.
Okay, roll that spell for me, please.
Oh, please fail.
Why?
Hold on, let me do a thing.
Oh, I thought you meant you wanted him to fail. Never mind.
No, no.
for everybody in
Except for I'm
the
gonna
area.
have to tell the truth.
I've been sitting on this spell for the past 5 minutes. My heart's racing.
That's everybody that's in the zone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a 15-foot
We better
sphere.
be quiet.
So that's everybody, by the way.
Oh.
wow.
Wow.
Bree, you
Charisma
also
that
make
we
that roll,
have to
please.
do,
My
and
name
it's a
is
charisma
Cass.
saving throw. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Yes.
At
I like the
charisma.
color
Okay.
blue.
Garrick
Okay.
will watch himself
So-
around you.
So, Dex, you have to speak the truth at all
Oh, yeah.
times now. Okay, so let me read the full description of the spell here for the sake of understanding how this works. Until the spell ends, a creature in the spell's area or must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. Zarn, everyone succeeded but Gax.
Ah,
An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive with its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
damn it.
So you cast this spell, and she immediately turns. She leans back in her chair and looks up at you. Do you have a problem?
Well, my butt kind of hurts in this chair.
This is gonna be great. What have you unleashed?
Bree wants to know if there's a washroom that she can go use.
Oh, god damn it. Alright, it seems too convenient that a tiefling, who, from what I understand of this city, they're looked down upon, all of a sudden now, after 3 years of service with no problems, decides to murder 2 hostages, or 2 prisoners, out of the blue. And it seems that the chief is the one investigating when any other place would have any other officers investigating it. It just, your whole story seems to be a little fishy to me.
I can hardly have her co-workers investigate. I'm her superior. And I won't be the only one. There will be others from other districts of the Watch helping me investigate. They're just not here yet.
don't
I meant
smell
no
any fish.
disrespect. I just... Damn it, Cat. I mean no disrespect. I just want to find answers because they were a source of information for us that is now left untapped. And until we
Same
find
for
out,
us.
then all right. In that case, then I'll dispel Zone of Truth.
Have you heard the word of Galind?
Do you actually say that?
Yes.
She looks at you.
Inside checker.
She looks at you and she says, "Do you know Galind?"
The zone just left, right?
Yeah, the zone's
Zone's
down.
gone.
Do
So
I
we-
know Galind? No.
All we have to operate on now is a name that we got from those 2 prisoners, and now they're dead. So we're looking for ways to follow up on this, and if this person is as powerful as they made him seem, he may have influence even here in this watch.
Make an insight check, everybody.
Like even high up in the watch.
Shut up, Gex! Yes, Bree!
Oh, Bree,
That's
nice.
Bree tonight.
Yes!
There
Bree,
you go.
as they mention Galind possibly having influence in the watch, you note that Mindy, smile still on her face, not super happy with Zarn, but generally a pleasant person, distinctly begins to sweat.
Okay.
That's what Gak's here for.
Can Can Bree hand her a handkerchief?
Do you have a handkerchief?
I don't know.
I just got like a flashback.
You haven't stolen one?
I just thought of
That was my first time trying to steal anything.
I just thought of Rush Hour when he's like, "Hey, you're sweating," and like throws a handkerchief at him.
Water skin. No, God
Wipe
damn
yourself
it.
off. You dead.
Yeah. You did.
No handkerchief. I got all sorts of rope though.
Well, rope can come in handy at this point.
Yeah, we may need that rope in a second.
Got two
You also
different-
might need initiative in a second, but that's a totally different story.
So Bree notices her sweat lightly, and she turns and she says, "It's certainly possible, though we do our best, of course, to root out any corruption. We haven't found any, obviously, in quite a while, but we're not perfect."
Well, if 15 minutes have passed, should I be able to do something now?
Yes, and we'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
So, do you investigate those yourself too?
I
No.
love Gax. I love him so much.
Not myself
who-
alone.
Who are the people that help you with these investigations?
Could be anyone. Other members of the watch, sometimes other folk here, sometimes other district captains. Sometimes other district captains. It depends on the situation. We haven't had one arise in, well, we haven't had corruption in the watch, no issues with that arise in, well, at least a year until, well, I guess if you count last night, which isn't really the same.
Boy, I don't have any more questions for her, at least.
Can I step outside of the room?
Are you going to attempt to step outside of the room?
Yeah.
You stand up, try the door, and find it locked.
That's interesting. Why is your door locked?
I don't know. I didn't lock it when I came in. It locks from the inside if you want to unlock it and walk
Okay.
out.
I will unlock it and walk out.
That's weird.
And I'm going to shut the door. And I just want to make sure there's nobody within 5 feet of me.
There's not anybody within 5 feet of you.
Good. Then I'm going to cast Thunderclap.
Oh!
What?
What is happening?
Okay, cast it.
Cast this
What is happening? Oh god, we're gonna kill everyone.
No, I won't. I promise. I just have to find it. Cast it.
John, why'd you leave us?
Select. And then I'm going to yell, oh my god, it's an earthquake!
So you
Okay.
don't cast it at us in the room.
No, that's why I'm going to make sure nobody was within 5 feet of me.
In that case, if I hear her say that, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and I'm gonna make tremors in the ground.
All
And
right.
I'm gonna flop around on the floor like.
Okay. So there is an enormously loud clap that everyone in the station hears, and you hear Bree yell, "It's an earthquake!" And then the ground begins to shake. Gax immediately falls on the ground and basically pretends to have a seizure.
And I'm hoping everybody's sort of going to run out of the building because I want to go find the
So-
tea area.
While this is happening, we're going to call timeout on this and go to Garrick. Garrick, you've just arrived at the Grand Temple.
Going down.
We're so subtle.
Garrick, you're muted.
It's amazing.
Now you can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
He's gonna go in the side door. The,
Yep.
the one he went in before. And I'm guessing the same person's behind the desk.
Yes, the receptionist behind the desk, he recognizes you. Can I help you?
He recognizes him with his mask on?
She's seen him with paint, without paint. She recognizes him.
That's true.
Yeah.
He kind of leans on the desk and says, "Is Captain Kimte here? I would like to speak with him as soon as possible.
I would assume so. Let me go upstairs and see. I'll let him know that you're here."
Okay.
And she steps out from behind the desk and walks upstairs, and about a minute later comes down with Captain Kimte behind her.
Okay.
Captain Kimte comes down the stairs and says, "Garrick,
Yes.
how can I help you?"
He looks at me and goes, "Can we step outside for a second? I have a couple things I'd like to ask you about."
Absolutely, let's.
Okay.
Then he follows you just outside.
Okay. He goes, "Okay, look, I'm gonna level with you here. I don't think all of your guards are on the up and up. I'm sure you've heard clearly about the two prisoners that were killed, the two that we brought from the museum.
I have just not that long ago, not 20 minutes or 30 minutes ago. In fact, I was getting ready to head over.
We just spoke. Me and my companions spoke with the guard who was there, who is currently under suspicion of doing it.
Yes.
From what she has told me, I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna level with you, but just hear me out before you say anything. I think she did it. However, I don't think she did it of her own free will. I think
You think she was coerced?
I think she was manipulated somehow, and that's what happened. I don't think she said, "Oh, I don't like these two people," or "I'm feeling really aggressive for some reason," and just decided to kill people. I think something happened that caused this. Because from the story she told us is that she's never fallen asleep, she's never done anything we have transitions. So when after Quad says "meanwhile," I can go.
That's incredible.
I have all the sound effects.
That's awesome. Does Mindy run out of her office?
Mindy sort of sits back in the chair for a second, and then straightens up a bit and looks directly at you, suspiciously.
At me?
Yeah, at you.
Whoa! We gotta get out of here.
I might keep casting it. Well, no one's
You
looking.
can't
I
keep.
created
You
me.
can't. Well, thaumaturgy is
No, I'm
Zarn.
using
Yeah.
the other
thunderclap.
one,
Yeah.
the thunderclap.
Is thunderclap from elemental evil, Bree? Is that where that
Yeah.
spell's from?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
told me I could take it.
Yep. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. So are you doing anything besides just letting thaumaturgy go for a bit?
I'm trying to be like, we gotta get out of here. Like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm going to pick up Gax. I'm like, you get out, we'll meet you there. But I'm like,
Okay.
taking a long time to get Gax up, so she'll run out of the room.
She's just sitting there,
God
unconcerned.
damn it, woman! It's okay. Forget about your belongings. It's you that's important. Just get out. He's so heavy. Get out. I'll get him there. Go away.
You have to do a
Get out.
bad job.
Bree, what are you doing while Jarn is failing to convince her to run out of the
I'm
room?
trying to find
What?
their coffee room where they make the tea and whatnot because I'd like to search
there-
it.
There is basically sort of like a basin, like a kettle, over in sort of a corner of the room that you're in, that appears to just be they keep hot water in it basically,
Okay.
and there's a few drawers that seem to have some tea leaves in it.
Is there garbage or?
Yeah, you see you see some basically a small pail that has some old tea leaves in it.
Because I'd like to search through there to see if I can find anything that looks like it might have poisoned someone.
Make an investigation check.
Okay, one sec here.
You look through the pail and it appears to just contain dried tea leaves, nothing out of the ordinary. God damn it, Garrick. Nothing out of the ordinary, just
Nothing
tea
in
leaves
any of the
and
cupboards or.
not really. It all appears to be pretty much what you'd expect.
Okay. Then I'll sort of head back
Okay.
out to where all the other
Darn.
people are and hide under a table with them.
Okay. At this point, the minute on thaumaturgy is coming to a close.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Zarn?
All right, so I'll let it stop. I'm like, oh my God, we're safe. We're good. It's everything's we're good. How are you? We're fine. You know, next time you probably should get out of your office because this is dangerous. Like, you should get in a doorway or like outside because this roof doesn't look up to code and it could fall in and then it's like dead. It's like,
I'd
who can
appreciate
investigate
it.
the murders?
I'd appreciate it if you'd leave the office now, please. Thank you.
Okay. Kind of back out of the office. Damn it.
Gax, are you going with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys back out of the office. She stands up and
Is there
closes the
carpet
door
or
as you
wood
leave.
floor?
It's wood.
I drag my battle axe out the door.
Awesome.
Nice. Bless you.
Thank you.
And as he does it, I kind of walk in. I'm like, oh no, the floor. Oh.
It must have happened in the
She
earthquake.
just shuts.
Yeah, totally.
He shuts the door as you guys walk out. So then it's the three of you all sort of by the door. People are sort of starting to make their way back to their desks to pick up the couple of things that might have fallen off, rearrange papers, that sort of stuff. Everyone seems a little bit, mildly shaken, but otherwise fine.
That was crazy. Could you imagine, like, if she didn't leave her office? Like, that's crazy. Would have fallen. She would have died. Good job, everybody. Way to stay safe, people. That's a good drill. Way to go.
It wasn't a drill, it was a real earthquake.
Yeah. I mean, because someone was drilling into the ground, and it caused the earthquake. So,
Finger guns.
just kind of leaves. All right, bye.
So you guys make your way out the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should not
I
do
found
the talking.
squat.
Okay. So you guys make your way out the front door and stand outside. And just as you see Garrick arriving with what appears to be 3 uniformed members of the Watch.
I'm gonna say, hey Garrick, you missed it. There was like a big earthquake and it was really scary.
Yeah, and then like her floor got ruined. That's crazy.
Carrick just kind of like. I knew you guys weren't subtle, but I mean that's a little.
Captain Kimte sort of just ignores this and makes his way into the station or the HQ and walks in. And Garrick, do you follow him in?
Yeah.
Okay, so him and his 2 lieutenants walk in basically, and the upon arriving,
I follow.
You follow, Gax?
Slowly.
Okay, so as he walks into the station, the male elf who was sitting at the front desk immediately stands up at attention, which you haven't really seen any of the Watch do. Like, they don't do that with Mindy, from what you can tell. Seems to be a more casual relationship. But as Captain Kemte walks in, he immediately stands up, straight as a board. Captain, how can I help you? And Captain Kemte looks at him and he says, I need to speak with the prisoner now. Yes, she's in the cells, second one on the left. Thank you. And he walks back with his lieutenant into the cells.
Garrick's still following.
Okay. He walks back and immediately walks in. As the door opens and he walks over, Sonnet looks up at him, and she also stands at attention as he walks in. Captain. So, sorry to see you here. As am I, Captain. I can't say that I have earned it. That remains to be seen. Tell me what happened. And she goes ahead and relays her side of the story. She got in, Mindy made her tea, she fell asleep and doesn't remember anything until waking up, and not long after was basically dragged into the cell. He takes us in, nods, turns to his lieutenant, and makes sure that they heard everything. Thank you, Sonnet. I appreciate this. Justice will be served, whatever justice may be here. And he turns and walks out of the cells, and then immediately makes his way over to Mindy's office.
Garrick is still following.
He walks in
I'm
alone.
outside talking to Bree about how
When
Minnie's
the
a bitch.
doors open.
Get it, Gex.
Yes,
Get it,
Gax is
Gex.
behind the captain going in. And as he walks in, I'm just like, wait, hang on. It's got to be on camera.
So he opens he walks up and knocks on Mindy's door. She says, "Come in," and then the captain opens the door, and you see Garrick as the captain opens the door. She immediately, as everyone else has done, stands up as he walks in with his two lieutenants behind him.
That's when Gax.
And yeah, and Garrick, he specifically shuts the door before you get inside.
Garrick looks kind of surprised, but at the same time, he's like, yeah, he's like, probably not supposed to be in this conversation, so. But he kind of hangs out, like, I'm guessing the two lieutenants kind of, like, sit, like, each side of the door.
No, they're inside with him.
Gotcha. Garrick stands outside the door, like, leaning up against the wall. Not like, trying to listen in, but just kind of sitting there just in case.
Yep.
James Dean.
You sit there, listen, just existing for a few minutes. After 3 or 4 minutes of conversation, the door opens back up, and Captain Kemte and his two lieutenants walk out. He appears to have the same neutral expression on his face as he usually does. And he takes a look over at you and he says, and he just sort of waves 2 fingers for you to follow and makes his way outside to the front.
Garrick follows.
He gets outside and he turns to the 4 of you, or 5 of you now, as Norin is technically there. And he says, "So, I'm not sure what to think. Sonnet has never had any problems documented before. I took a look at her file earlier before you arrived, Garrick. No previous issues. That said, at the moment it's her word versus Mindy's, and Mindy is captain of the watch, and she did not get there undeservingly.
She's sort of racist, you know.
She's a product of the city.
And she got very uncomfortable when we talked about Glend.
Yep, and she doesn't like me asking her questions.
I wouldn't much like you asking me questions either. Tell me what you meant about Galend, Bree. Did you mention something about it?
Yeah, well, because that's the only lead we have from the prisoners was about Galend. And when we asked her about it, she got very uncomfortable looking and she started sweating and tried to change the subject.
That's interesting. This may...
Captain, I can't speak for what Mindy's done. I can't speak for what the prisoner's done. But I can tell you something is not right. Something is definitely not right here. And I feel like you have the wrong person in prison. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I'm not going to say to release her. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just telling you what I believe, and from what I can tell from Bree, the others believe that she did not do this. And that more suspicion is on Mindy right now.
Yes.
Than the prisoner.
It just seems very suspicious. It seems suspicious that the night we find prisoners that give us the name Galend, they end up dead the next night in a guard station where the chief was there that night. Things just don't add up.
Not to mention doing the investigation.
You're not wrong.
And she didn't leave during an earthquake.
With everything.
Who doesn't leave during an earthquake?
He cocks an eyebrow at that.
Yeah, you really should go over your earthquake protocol.
Yeah, seriously.
Nothing that you're
Nobody
saying.
seems to know what to do.
Nothing that you're saying is false, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is concerning to me. I do find it hard to believe that Captain Celeste may not have the city's best interests at heart. She has been a dedicated servant for many years, and a trusted advisor of mine and the Keepers. That said, I find it hard to believe that a watchman of a few years would turn to random acts of violence. There's not a simple answer here. I do not know as of yet what to make of this, and more investigation is needed. I'll likely be talking to Mindy's sister, Helena, head of the Eastern Quarter Watch. If you all would like to join me in that tomorrow.
I would.
Sure.
Sure.
What's the sister's name again?
Helena.
Helena.
But first,
She's the
let's talk about this aversion you have to answering questions. What'd you have for breakfast?
son of truth. I'm kidding.
Storm the hell out of you, Gax.
Garrick, kind of steps forward and says, I don't know what else we can do, but if you need for us to do anything, again, be there when you question Helena or answer more questions, do whatever. I feel like all of us would be more than happy to step forward and do what we can.
Also,
tell you
I
what.
called dibs on bad guard.
Dibs me.
I tell you what. I recommend that you speak to some of the lower level watch, standard watch folk. They tend to know more about what goes on the ground than I certainly do. Particularly check in the Eastern Quarter and Asmodin. See if you can find anyone there to speak to about this. They may be able to help in terms of investigation. And I do know, as useful as the watch may be, if you can find anything on the ground yourselves, you may be of more use than anyone in a uniform.
I feel like anything that we try to dig up in Asmodin probably won't be that good. Won't be that either not helpful or any information we get will be sparse. Because
That depends on who you ask.
well,
You know,
Garrett,
There are
I
good
don't mind
people in
asking.
Asmodin.
Garrick points to Gask, he just kind of points down at Gask and goes, "This guy shouted out Gillian's name in the Minotaur's horn, and yeah, everybody kind of reacted differently, but it was more of the tieflings that kind of were like, 'How dare you name that name here?' And they got really
It
upset."
has more to do with the fact that the tieflings in that area are locals. Everyone else is from out of town and doesn't recognize the name. You'll find that reaction anywhere in the city from locals. Doesn't really matter what race they are.
Very well.
Is anybody else in the party a local here? to
No,
the city?
no one in the party is local.
Okay. I know I'm not.
I'm not. Ex-pirate cleric.
Yeah! Okay.
Barbarian
Very well.
horde. Just me. I'm the horde.
Meet me
Now,
tomorrow morning. Where are you staying?
Crap, I forgot the inn.
Gatekeeper's Inn.
Gatekeepers, yes.
we're staying at the Your Mother's Butt.
You say that as Mike, not
You say
Zon.
Yeah, Mike says that. Mike says that. Sorry.
Cool. Captain, very well. I will meet you at the Gatekeeper's Inn.
As he goes, what's your AC?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. a little after breakfast tomorrow morning, and then we will make our way to the Eastern Quarter to speak to Helen
Where do we
Acceptable?
meet you?
at the Gatekeeper's Inn.
Gotcha. Okay. That sounds fine.
What's the guard guy's name?
Which one?
The big kahuna guy.
Captain Tomas
Kinte.
Kimte.
Kinte. Can I ask him about what he knows about the
Oh,
deep
he
temple?
doesn't like questions. Careful.
You can ask him about the Deep Temple if you'd like.
I
He's a
will.
guard. They don't like questions.
Wow,
He
we're bringing it
raises-
back a little.
Or maybe it's
He
just
raises his
Zom's
eyebrow and he
questions.
says, The Deep Temple is a myth.
I heard it was underneath the port.
So have I. Doesn't make it true.
No? Well, I'll tell you. We have a friend, and she asked some questions. And we nearly got killed. I mean, you say a god's name, and they nearly kill you? Like, what's up with that?
Were you in the Port District?
Yeah.
I advise you not to blaspheme against Deep Seychelles in the Port District. It won't do well for you.
Yeah, but that's awfully cryptic.
It's not intended to be. Sailors are a pious lot.
What are you talking about? I'm a sailor.
Me too.
Ask your friend over here. He's the cleric.
I'm not pious.
Wait, what are
We
you
know
asking me?
that.
What'd you say, Garrick?
I said we know that.
Yeah. There are exceptions that prove every rule. I'll see you in the morning. And he turns and walks away with his 2 lieutenants behind him.
Isn't it morning now? Or are we meeting him tomorrow?
He means the
morning?
next morning. Yeah, tomorrow
Yeah.
morning.
What time is it?
At this point, it's getting close to probably like 9:30, 10-ish.
Morning or night?
You guys have... Morning. You guys have been up for
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Oh,
going on almost 15, 16 hours now.
oh God, sleep.
Yeah.
That's why Zarn's being so off his game. He's tired.
Yeah, that's
That's
why.
it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. So you guys head back to the inn.
When
Yes.
as they make their way back, I don't know if it was close, but I was hoping Garrick could kind of keep an eye open for Agamemnos's cart.
Yeah, it's right. It's a like a corner stand right near the inn.
Is he currently like there? Like,
Yes, it is getting. He's opening up for lunch.
awesome. Garrick looks over to the rest and says, "You guys can go get some early sleep. I don't know about you, but I haven't eaten anything in a while, so he's gonna go over there."
Okay. Are the rest of you just going upstairs to go pass out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll eat it. Night.
Okay. Garrick, you walk over to Agamemnos's shop. He greets you as you come up. How's it going, friend? Can I get you anything?
Yeah, I've been up for a while. I haven't really had anything to eat. You got any more of that boar left? I could go for a pulled boar sandwich.
Yeah, I've got a little bit more. You want it?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I'll give you a discount. 2 silver. I'll include the beer.
Garrick pays him 5.
From up in Bree's room.
From across the room! From across the room! That's amazing!
Bree feels a disturbance in the force.
Oh, that was good. I don't even know if she could
That was
hear it.
amazing. That was so great.
You pass over your 5 silver. He hands you a sandwich. It's piled high with meat. There's like a lot, and he gives you a couple of glasses of ale.
Cool.
There you go, friend. Have a good day.
Well, thank you. And he sits on the same bench he sat on last time.
Cool.
Chowing down. And then after he
All right.
finishes, he's gonna go to the inn and sleep.
Go to sleep. Cool.